Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, let's talk about Travis Kelce's future. For months, rumors have been flying around about whether this past season was going to be his last. Some people were convinced he'd hang up his cleats. Others believed he had one more run left in him. But let's be real, after everything he's done for Kansas City, it's hard to imagine this team without him. Let's rewind for a second. The 2020 season was a roller coaster. The Chiefs fought their way back to the Super Bowl, only to fall short against the Eagles. It was a tough loss, one that had everyone wondering, was that Kelce's last game? After the final whistle, the questions started flooding in. Would he retire? Was this the end of an era? Kelce himself didn't give an immediate answer. Instead, he told the media he needed time to think, and you can't blame him. The guy has given everything to this franchise: 13 years of dominance, 10 Pro Bowls, multiple Super Bowl rings. He's already cemented his legacy as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, but as the offseason rolled on, the speculation only grew. Some analysts pointed to his age: he'll be 36 this year. Others said the wear and tear of the game might finally be catching up to him. Social media exploded with debates. Some fans were sure he'd retire and walk away on top. Others believed he wouldn't leave without one last shot at redemption. So, what did you think? Did you believe Kelce was going to call it quits after last season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know where you stood when all these rumors started flying around. And speaking of answers, we finally got one. Kelce made his decision, and let's just say, Chiefs fans had reason to celebrate. But what led him to that choice? Let's talk about it. So after months of speculation, Travis Kelce finally gave us the answer we were all waiting for. And Chiefs Kingdom, it was time to celebrate. Kelce took to his New Heights podcast to make it official: he's coming back for his 13th season in the NFL. And let's be honest, hearing those words felt like a weight off every Chiefs fan's shoulders. But what really stood out wasn't just the announcement itself, it was why he decided to return. He didn't talk about money, he didn't talk about stats. He talked about unfinished business. Kansas City, baby, we're back at it for at least one more year, Kelce said. I can't say whether or not this is going to be the last year, because I still love a lot of what I do for the city of Kansas City and the Chiefs organization. That right there, that's the heart of a competitor. He's not coming back just to play another season, he's coming back to win. The loss in the Super Bowl clearly stuck with him, and he's got one thing on his mind: getting that 5th ring. And you know the locker room was buzzing after this news. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the entire team knew just how big this was. Kelce isn't just a player, he's a leader, a veteran presence that keeps the energy high. Mahomes himself reacted to the news with excitement, posting on social media about how much it meant to have his go-to guy back for another year. Chiefs fans flooded the internet with their reactions: relief, hype, and a whole lot of run-it-back energy. Now, I want to hear from you. What was your first reaction when you heard Kelce was coming back? Did you always believe he'd return, or did you think 2024 was his last ride? Let me know in the comments. But now that we know he's back, the next big question is, what can we expect from Kelce in 2025? Let's break it down. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, now that we know Kelce is back, it's time to ask the big question: what can we expect from him in 2025? Let's start with the obvious. Travis Kelce may be 36, but he's still one of the most dominant tight ends in the NFL. Last season, despite all the rumors about him slowing down, he was still putting up elite numbers and making clutch plays when it mattered most. But here's the thing: age is undefeated. At some point, even the greats start to feel it. So how will Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes adjust the offense to keep Kelce at his best? One possibility: managing his workload. We could see Kelce's snap count decrease slightly to keep him fresh for the playoffs. Maybe the Chiefs lean more on young talent at tight end in the regular season while still making sure Kelce is the go-to guy when it really counts. But let's not get it twisted, Mams and Kels are still the best duo in football. That chemistry isn't going anywhere. Defenses know he's getting the ball, and they still can't stop it. And let's not forget what's driving him this season: redemption. That Super Bowl loss left a bad taste in his mouth, and he's coming back hungry. This isn't just another season for Kels, it's about proving that he can still perform at the highest level and help the Chiefs bring home their 5th Lombardi trophy. So, what do you think? Can Kels still dominate in 2025, or will we start to see a decline? Drop your take in the comments. And speaking of the future, there's still one huge question left unanswered: is this Kels's last ride? Or does he have more left in the tank beyond 2025? Let's get into it. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, now let's turn our attention to something that's been on everyone's mind since Kels announced his return for 2025. What happens after that? The truth is, Kels's future beyond next season is a big question mark. He's made it clear that he can't guarantee he'll be playing beyond 2025, and with his age, that uncertainty only grows. But let's break it down. What factors will play into his decision to either hang it up or keep going? First up, there's his health. Kels has been remarkably durable throughout his career, but injuries start to pile up the older you get. If he stays healthy and continues to perform at a high level, it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see him play a few more years. But if the injuries start to add up, that could push him to call it quits. Then there's the performance factor. If Kels can keep producing at a high level in 2025, maybe even winning that elusive 5th Super Bowl, he might be tempted to retire on top, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest to ever do it. On the other hand, if things start to slow down, he might decide it's time to walk away before the decline is too noticeable. There's also the contract situation. Kels is under contract for 2025, but what happens after that? Will the Chiefs offer him a 1 or 2 year extension, or will they start to move on and focus on the future? How does Kels feel about that? He's given so much to this franchise. Does he want to retire as a Chief or move on to something else? So let me ask you, Chiefs fan, if Kels decides to retire after 2025, who do you think could fill his shoes? Do the Chiefs already have someone in mind, or will they be scrambling to find the next great tight end? Let's talk about it in the comments. And while we're talking about the future, let's wrap it all up with a look at Kels's legacy. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, here we are. Whether Kels decides to retire after 2025 or play a few more years, one thing is certain: his legacy is already secure. When you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, you think about Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and yes, Travis Kelce. He's been a cornerstone of this franchise for over a decade, and his accomplishments are undeniable. 10-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, game-changing tight end, Kelce has done it all. His impact on the field is huge, but let's not forget his influence off the field. Kelce is the ultimate competitor, but he's also a leader, a guy who lifts up his teammates and demands excellence. His work ethic, his confidence, his ability to make clutch plays, he's built a legacy that will last long after he hangs up his cleats. Kelce will be remembered as one of the greatest to ever play the game. And no matter what happens in 2025, the Chiefs will never forget what he's done for this team. So, Chiefs fan, as we get ready for another season, take a moment to appreciate Kelce while we have him. Whether it's his last year or not, we're witnessing greatness in real time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Total Chiefs, and drop a comment below. What's your favorite Travis Kelce memory? Is it that incredible Super Bowl catch or one of those amazing moments from the regular season? I can't wait to hear your thoughts.